guys, what's going on? It's Ash here coming at you today in Raid Shadow Legends. A new year and a new guide for Kael, my favorite of the 4 starting champions inside Raid Shadow Legends. Welcome to the video, guys. If you're a new player, welcome to the channel. My name is Ash. I upload mediocre Raid Shadow Legends content. My baby come to daddy, still the drink, sweetie. But it's too late to apologize. It's too late. Well, okay. Now we're talking. Underbreaks brought me number 2. I like wasting my money. It's a he, right? It's a. Today we're on my free-to-play account, meaning I have never spent $1 on this game, and I want to show you a realistic build here for Kael pertaining to the content in 2022. We have a lot of new areas of the game that have been added over the last year or two, so I want to kind of at least acknowledge those areas as I give you today's guide. So Kael, first of all, aesthetically, he is, again, ask people what is the one name, character name that they associate with Raid Shadow Legends. A large portion of the player base is going to still say Kael, because again, he's one of the 4 starting champions. All 4 of those champions, Kael, Galek, Elaine, and Aethel, are incredible. So on the A1, especially when it comes to rare champions, right? So you can't really go wrong. You can't make it. There's no account ruining mistake by choosing the wrong starter champion. However, again, I would go with Kael. He has the weak version of poison at a 100% land rate on his A1. Now, Kael's definitely a champion you want to be confident in putting your skill tomes in, putting your books in. Rare skill tomes a little easier to find than epics, certainly than legendaries, so I would definitely book out Kael fully. So again, 100% chance to land that weak version of poison on the A1. On the A2, we have an AoE attack with really solid over 4 multipliers. What does that mean? It means that he's actually dealing a lot of damage on this AoE attack. He has an extra 15% chance of placing a critical hit on this A2, which is nice. I mean, technically, you only have to have 85% crit rate to land a critical hit on this A2. However, we still want to build our Kael with a 100% crit rate. As a matter of fact, that should be #1 priority when building out your Kael. On the A3, Disintegrate, we have 4 times at random has a 50% chance of placing a big version of poison. Now, with the big version of poison on the A3 and the weak version of poison on the A2, they're both going to add up to a ton of extra damage, especially in Clan Boss and in Dragon's Lair. However, that does require accuracy. So priority number 2 on Kael is going to be building him with a lot of accuracy. So again, at crit rate, accuracy, speed, attack, those are my stat priorities on my Kael. One thing I want to mention on Acid Rain, fills his turn meter of this champion by 25% for each enemy killed. Meaning if he kills 3 enemies, we have a 75% turn meter already automatically after that attack. We'll show that in the arena to kind of show how it works. You can really add up the damage by that kind of self-fulfilling turn meter on that A2.
Am I a hero? I really can't say, but yes.
Now, Masteries, guys, I have Masteries selected for a campaign farmer Kael and for an arena nuker Kael. Now, Helm Smasher, which is our tier 6 option in this build that I'm showing you guys, is great for dungeon waves before we get to the boss, Doom Tower waves, just any Doom Tower floor before the boss again, and it's great, as I mentioned, in the arena, have a chance at ignoring defense, right? So really, really great option for you guys in that regard. If you're only using your Kael or you're primarily using your Kael against anything other than that, you know, other than campaign, other than the arena, just maybe Dragon, doing a lot of Clan Boss, go War Master. You get overall more damage if you go War Master if you don't care so much about ignoring that defense for the arena or for all the other areas we just spoke about. Now, I do want to point out a few other masteries that are very important on Kael. Ruthless Ambush is a must-have mastery for the arena and for campaign farming. Increased damage inflicted by 8% for the first hit on each enemy. Yes, please. 8% is a lot of extra damage, especially when we're dealing 50 to 100k damage per hit, right? And then on top of that, especially for campaign farming, Whirlwind of Death. Now, I keep mentioning campaign farming. Kael is a great option for campaign farming in the early game, in the mid game. Eventually, you'll find better options such as Bellower and Fellhound, but even me on this account, I still use Kael, and he still gets the job done. So increased speed by 6 for each enemy killed by by this champion, it stacks across each round of the battle, so we'll have 18 speed by the end of that campaign farm on the third round, right? And then the last one is Wrath of the Slain. Increases damage inflicted by 5% for each dead ally. When we're farming food, oftentimes our allies are going to be dead, so we can get a plus 15% damage inflicted just by having a few dead pieces of food or slaughtered champions. So Wrath of the Slain, very important. Those 3 masteries, very important for no matter who your campaign farmer is. Bring It Down also increases damage inflicted by 6% when attacking targets with higher max HP is great to have as well. And then on the support tree, we picked up the first 3 masteries are all just based on getting more accuracy on this champion. We already talked about how important accuracy is. And then we went in and grabbed Master Hexer. A chance at extending the duration, of both the weak and the strong versions of poisons that we are always laying down. Also really important to get Sniper on this champion to increase the likelihood of landing those poisons on the A3 from a 50 to a 55% chance. Okay, so those are the masteries. We talked about going War Master if you don't care so much about the arena or about campaign farming with this champion. There's really no wrong way to build him in that regard. You'll get a lot of damage either with War Master or with Helm Smasher. So when we look at the artifact set, I love Lifesteal on Kael, and that's the build that I've chosen to show you guys in today's video. Lifesteal is beautiful because not only am I healing myself all the time, it keeps him alive longer, but it gives us the luxury of being able to put our Kael in a little bit more offensive gear, meaning we can have an attack percentage chest on our Kael, we can have an attack ring on our Kael, and we can have a crit damage amulet on our Kael instead of having to go defense percentage, HP percentage, or going defense and HP on the ring. Meaning that we can be a little bit more aggressive in how offensive we build our Kael because he's going to be healing himself up so much vis-a-vis the Lifesteal gear. So that's what we chose today. So I love Lifesteal on my Kael. You might be watching this saying, I don't really need Lifesteal. He's not really dying that much, but you might have him in a defense or an HP percentage chest. You can probably get more damage out of him and still keep him alive if you choose Lifesteal gear. However, with that said, you can go Savage if you want to on Kael. You can go with just speed, with just offense, with perception, accuracy gear, all great options for Kael. Just first and foremost, make sure you prioritize, especially in the early game, getting your Kael to 6 stars, fully ascended, so you can get this beautiful banner on your Kael. And in this case, I went with accuracy. So again, getting accuracy, at least 10 accuracy for every stage in the dungeon that you're currently at. For example, right now I'm on Dragon 19 with my team on this account. So I need 19 times 10 accuracy on my debuffers or anybody landing poisons, decreased defense, any of that stuff. So I have exactly 190 accuracy on my Kael for that reason. We already talked about 100% crit rate is going to be mandatory on our Kael, and then trying to stack on as much crit damage as we can after that. 178 is an okay speed for your nuker. Generally, your nuker is going to be going last in the arena. I would like to get him a little bit faster, but as we progress, we can work on improving the speed of all of our champions. So those are my total stats here, guys. Again, I went crit rate. I think the majority of you guys are going to be going crit rate on the gauntlets. I went attack percentage on the chest, and I went speed on the boots. Let's go ahead and give them a try first in the arena, guys. So on this arena team, what I really want you to understand about this arena team is that the composition. We have a speed lead, so increased speed in arena battles by 30%. We have some CC, Kymar. And then we have a debuffer going ahead of our nuker. We also have a speed booster here, an Apothecary. He has this skill that gives increased speed on all allies and a turn meter boost by 15%. So when you put that together, a well-balanced team with my nuker going last, you're going to have a lot of success in the arena. That will help you farm your Great Hall, which is, what this game is all about in the early game, right? Getting that Great Hall up, getting that Great Hall accuracy up so I don't have to stress so much about having enough accuracy on all of my champions. Now, this might be challenging here. They have block damage from Blind Seer, so let's see if we can break through here and take him down. It looks like we're going to be okay. looks like we're going to be just okay here. So that happened really fast. Let's do another battle. Let's look for a little bit more of a difficult team here, and let's do another battle and see what we can do here in terms of, let's see, this team's a little bit more challenging. Let's go after them. We'll do this one again on auto, then I'm going to take it on manual and kind of explain how the team works in terms of the each individual roles. There goes Kael, though, taking down most of the team except for Razin, who's a negative affinity matchup, force against magic, so it'll take us a second, but eventually we'll get the job done.
When you try your best, but you don't succeed.
By the way, I haven't pushed, as you guys can see, a lot here in Arena on this account, so the teams are pretty easy. That's why we're going to go ahead and handpick the most difficult team that we can find right now. Let's go ahead and refresh again, which I hate doing on my free-to-play account. All right, guys, so it took me a while to find a more challenging team there, but we did find one here. So we have Dark Elhain, we have Ursula the Mourner, we have Sinesha and Kael as well. So we go in with the A2, we CC the enemy team. Next in line is going to be my turn meter booster in Apothecary again. You'll notice he's level 50. That's totally fine. He's there for one reason, to boost my team and it put increased speed on the team. And then we come in with a Lunatic Outburst ability from Duck the Pierced. You can use War Maiden or any debuffer in this role. We come in, now we have decreased attack, decreased defense on all of the enemies. Now it's Kael's turn. He's going to come in with that nuke. Look at his turn meter, guys. We kill 3 enemies and his turn meter is almost full again. That means he's going to have almost back-to-back turns. He comes back in with his A3. We're landing weak hits because, again, it is a force affinity matchup, but you guys can see already the magic of Kael inside the arena. Let's go ahead and show him off in campaign. So guys, here we are in campaign. You can see Brutal over here in the bottom left-hand corner. We want to make sure that we're farming campaign in 12-3 Brutal once we're able to actually get there, right? So work on upgrading your gear, your artifacts. Start with the middle row of artifacts, your gauntlets, your chest, your boots first, and then you can start by focusing on upgrading to all the way to level 16 the rest of your artifacts. Again, let me repeat that. I start with the gauntlets, the crit rate, right? Get that to 100%. Then the chest, the percentage based, and then the boots, and then I will maybe level up to level 8 or 12 the rest of the artifacts, and I kind of go in that order. So here we go, guys. Basically, inside, let's just pretend these are champions I'm just trying to actually rank up, but let's pretend I'm just farming food right now. So Incubus, welcome to the squad. We have our campaign farmer in Kael in the lead, and then well, this is how it works, right? It's pretty basic. But this is about on a 25 or so second. He comes in with that A2. Turn meter is nice and full. We come in with the A3. Now already we have that A2 up again. He kills everybody, and you can see. Now he's faster, he's dealing more damage as well because everybody's dead on my team. That's why we spoke about those Masteries, Wrath of the Slain, early on when we talked about the Masteries. So there we go, guys, 18 seconds. You should be expecting from 15 to 25 seconds from your Kael in terms of a campaign farmer. Again, he's one of the better campaign farmers you can start with in the early game in Raid Shadow Legends. So again, we'll watch to see how long it takes, but essentially you can use your arena build or your regular PvE build, excuse me, even meaning if you have War Master Masteries, not that big of a deal. As long as you have the stats similar to what I'm using here, you'll be just fine in the campaign. You don't have to have those Masteries. So here we go again in 19 seconds. So we're just going to go ahead and keep farming up our food and use those to upgrade, champions and rank up champions we actually want to rank up. Let's go ahead and show you a quick dragon run before we end the video. All right, guys, so this is Dragon 19. The team is Duck the Pierced, Ninja next to him. We have Sepulchre Sentinel, and then we have Apothecary in Kael. So basically 2 support champions, 1 debuffer, and 2 damage dealers in Ninja and Kael on this squad. We're approaching the dragon right now. You'll notice that I do have a force affinity going against a spirit affinity here. So essentially Sepulchre Sentinel here on this squad is tanking for the team, making sure that everybody stays alive because we don't have a reviver on this squad throughout the first 2 rounds. So here we go to the dragon. You can already see that poison, both the weak and the strong versions, start to do a ton of damage against the dragon. Wait till you see the total damage that Kael is able to put out here, not just against the dragon, but helping out nuking on those waves on the first and second wave leading up to the dragon. And this is going to go pretty fast, both because of Kael and because of the magic of Ninja, if you guys can see as well. Every time Ninja's A2 gets off on the dragon, it's just dealing an insane amount of damage. So here we go, guys. The dragon in about 3 minutes. And again here, this is kind of where I am on this account. Where you are, it might, you might be struggling on Dragon 10. You might be working on Dragon 24. Doesn't matter, using the same fundamentals and the same builds, and you can see Kael able to easily keep himself alive by healing himself so much and putting out more damage than Ninja on that run. So a very, very effective damage dealer, very effective in a variety of different roles and a variety of different places inside the game. Again, Hydra Clan Boss can be a fairly good option in the early game, using him in Tag Team Arena, using him in the regular arena, using him basically everywhere. A Doom Tower Wave Killer. He's one of the guys that I lean on as my Doom Tower Wave Killer on this account. I don't have many options. You have to use what you have. We just had a reset right now, so granted this is the first floor, but using the same exact team that we just used, I can reliably use this team inside Doom Tower Waves as well. It's a really balanced team, and again here, Kael's going to be putting out the majority of the damage on this squad as well. He's going to be going here with his AoE attack, Acid Rain, and well, if it can even get to his turn, there we go. You know, again, round after round after round on Doom Tower, he'll be healing himself and filling his own turn meter as he kills everybody for you guys. So I hope you enjoyed this updated version of a Kael guide. Plenty more champion guides here every single week on the channel, along with strategy guides and just different unorthodox builds as we spotlight champions that don't get a lot of love inside the game. Thank you guys for watching, and as always, take care, guys.